10 years ago, I've picked up this book and something clicked. But it wasn't until I sat in complete silence for 10 days during a Vipassana meditation retreat that I really understood the power of presence and mindfulness. For 10 days, I didn't speak a single word. Just me and my chatty mind in complete silence, meditating for over 10 hours a day. This retreat transformed how my brain works in ways that science now confirms. Over the past few decades, neuroscientists have been studying long-term meditators, and the results are seriously powerful. In today's video, I'm gonna break down exactly how mindfulness affects your brain, share my personal experience with meditation, and show you how you can use it to sharpen your mind, improve your focus, and create the mental clarity needed to turn intentions into reality. Hi, I'm Nasreen, a transformation strategist and a certified coach who's worked with large tech companies for 18 years. And on this channel, we explore strategies and tools to help us live our life more intentionally and achieve our dearest dreams. Let's dive in. First, let's define what's mindfulness, what is meditation, and how they relate to each other. So mindfulness is the quality of being fully present. It means paying attention on purpose to the present moment without a judgment. You can be mindful while eating, walking, listening to someone, even while brushing your teeth. It's a state of awareness. Meditation, on the other hand, is the practice that helps cultivate that state. Think of mindfulness as a muscle and meditation as the workout. When you sit down, close your eyes and focus on your breath, that's meditation. You are training your mind to notice when it wanders and gently bringing it back. Vipassana is one of the techniques for meditation that I've personally practiced the most. It's actually pretty simple and down to earth, which suited my rational mind. Vipassana means to see things as they are through observing the breathing to focus the mind, then observing body sensations with stillness and without judgment or reaction. And I'll be sharing with you more about my experience with it in a moment. But before that, let's look at the science behind meditation and how it's able to rewire the brain. Science have proven that meditation can shrink the amygdala. The amygdala is your brain alarm system. It triggers the fight or flight response. Meditation have been shown to reduce the size and reactivity of the amygdala, making you less reactive to stress. In clear words, you don't freak out as easily. The second effect of meditation on your brain is that it strengthens your prefrontal cortex. This is the part of your brain that is responsible for decision-making, focus, and self-control. Studies shows that meditation strengthens this area, increasing your ability to pause, reflect, then respond, instead of just reacting. In clear words, you have a sharper focus and you make better choices. Third effect, it increases your gray matter. MRI scans show that regular meditators have more gray matter in areas linked to memory, learning, and emotional regulation. In clear words, your brain becomes literally better at learning and stay in balance. The other effect of meditation is that it improves your default mode network. The default mode network is the part of your brain that kicks in when you are not focused, like when your brain starts to wander or ruminate, for example. An overactive DMN means more anxiety and more self-criticism. Meditation helps quiet the DMN, creating more calm and clarity, which means, in clear words, less overthinking and more presence. And here is the good news. You don't need to meditate for hours to get these benefits. Research shows that 10 to 15 minutes a day on a regular basis creates measurable changes in the brain over time. I've personally experienced these benefits firsthand, and I want to share with you my own experience. Mindfulness actually arrived at a turning point in my life. Some friendships were becoming tense, work was overwhelming, and I felt the need for change across many areas in my life. Mindfulness entered in different forms, through surfing at first. With the ocean shifting around you, the mind quiets down naturally. You have no choice but being present. Then came yoga and eventually bits of meditation here and there. These already helped me improve my quality of life and reduce my stress levels. But it was still hard for me to be fully present in my mind and in my body. Reading The Power of Now gave me a glimpse of what's possible, especially when Eckhart Tolle talks about observing the mind. It may seem basic, but that simple shift of becoming the observer of your thoughts instead of identifying with them was huge. It created space between me and the noise, and that's when I started looking for ways to go deeper and came across Vipassana. Everything about it resonated with me, and I didn't think twice. I signed up for the next available retreat. As I mentioned earlier, the course is 10 days long and you meditate for 10 hours a day. But surprisingly, it didn't feel that hard. I didn't have specific expectations. I was just relieved that everything would be taken care of. The accommodation, the meal, even the structure of the days. Volunteers who were actually former students were working around the clock to make it as profitable as possible for the students. And nobody is asking for any money. You can only make a donation if and only if you've completed the 10 days and you want to help someone else experience and learn the same thing, which was very surprising actually. And knowing all that, it was a hell yes for me. The impact after the retreat was noticeable. I remember my sister telling me once, "You're not reacting to me being late. It's almost weird." And I could feel it also. I was more present and more calm, less reactive too. Whether at work or in my relationships, I had the space to receive whatever was happening without reacting immediately. My nervous system also could breathe. It wasn't on edge constantly as before. This didn't mean I wasn't feeling anything anymore. Quite the opposite actually. I was feeling and noticing even more things, but the difference, I was receiving it with more clarity and less reactivity. Before, it could take me a whole day to figure out what was bothering me actually. After Vipassana, I could notice it right away. And that clarity extended to my goals. I was more focused and less distracted. Things started falling in place quite naturally. That's actually when I decided to move to France. And I've had actually the clarity and the calm to follow through. So how do we exactly integrate these benefits into our daily lives? First, let me clarify one thing. I've talked about my experience with Vipassana, but you need to know that the Vipassana is not about doing the 10 days and then you're done. It's actually 10 days to be able to learn the technique, and then the idea is that you would be meditating every day, 1 hour in the morning and 1 hour in the evening. And let me be honest here, I've never been able to do that. I think the most I've been able to do is to maintain 1 hour in the evening for 6 months, I think. It was after my first Vipassana retreat. Since then, well, I've done 2 other or 3, I can't remember, retreat. The first one was like 10 years ago, so it was almost every 2 or 3 years. But the most important thing is not the 10 days. Yes, it is more condensed, so you can see a bigger effect at once, but if you don't sustain it and maintain it, it's not really useful. And as I said before, the good news is that you don't need to meditate as much to see the benefits. You can start small at the beginning. Only 5 minutes every day can be really effective. Studies shows that even with 5 minutes a day for 3 months led to better attention, stronger cognitive control, and reduced stress. Consistency beats duration here. So if you're new to meditation, here's how you can start. First, find a quiet place where you won't be bothered and sit in a comfortable position with your back straight. Second, set a timer for 5 minutes. Then focus on your breath. Try to keep your attention on your breathing in and out for the whole 5 minutes. Of course, you won't be able to maintain it for the whole 5 minutes, and that's normal. Obviously, it may not be very easy at the beginning. Your mind may wander, and it's okay, that's normal. Just try to bring your attention back. And that's it for 5 minutes. And the practice would be to do it again the next day. If that feels challenging for you, you can try a guided meditation. There are plenty of great apps out there, so find one that really speaks to you. For me, the practice of meditation have been really transformative. Not because it made my life easier, but because it changed how I related to what was happening in my life. As neuroscientist Dr. Richard Davidson said, you could sculpt your brain just as you would sculpt your muscles if you go to the gym. Our brains are continuously being sculpted, whether we like it or not. So the real question is, are you making that change intentionally? I invite you to try it. 1 week, 5 minutes a day of focused attention, and see how it feels. If this resonated with you, I'd love to hear your thoughts, your experience with meditation, what worked for you and what didn't. Thank you for watching, and until next time, stay grounded, stay intentional, and stay true to yourself. Bye!